Hi everyone, in this After Effects tutorial I'll show you how to create the circle title transition shown on screen. Start by creating a new composition. I'm using the social media landscape preset at 30 FPS and setting my duration to 10 seconds. Now we'll begin by making a symmetrical circle. To do this, select the ellipse tool. To find it, click the small arrow here under the rectangle tool in the toolbar. Then hold Shift as you drag to create a perfect circle. Next, use the Align tool to center the circle in the composition. If you don't see the Align tool, go up to Windows and select Align. Now we'll center the anchor point on the shape layer so the scaling animations we add next scale from the center. To do this, select your shape layer, then click Ctrl, Alt and Home on Windows or Command, Option and Home on Mac. This automatically centers the anchor point. Just a side note, all shortcuts used in this video will be in the description for easy reference. Now we'll animate the scale of our shape layer. To do this, press S to reveal the scale options. Then move the playhead to the start of your timeline and scale down your circle to 0% and click the scale stopwatch to add a keyframe. Then move the playhead to around 1 second and increase the scale until the circle fills the composition, like shown. Next, move the playhead to around 9 seconds and set another keyframe at the current scale value. If you've made your composition duration longer, simply add a keyframe 1 second from the end of your composition. Finally, at 10 seconds, set the scale back down to 0. And as well, if you made your duration longer, simply scale down to 0% at the end of your composition. Now, if you play this back, you'll see your circle scales up and then down. Next, highlight all keyframes and press F9 to easy ease them to smooth out the animation. To fine-tune the animation further, open the graph editor. If yours looks different, right-click and select Edit Speed Graph. Then click on the second keyframe and drag its handles inwards to the left to make the animation start fast and then slow down. Then do the opposite for the third keyframe by moving its handles inwards to the right to make the animation start slow, then speed up. Then close the graph editor by pressing the graph editor icon here. Then select your shape layer and press Ctrl D on Windows or Command D on Mac 3 times to create 3 duplicates of your shape. Then select all your layers and press U to reveal the keyframes. To create a staggered animation, start by selecting the first 2 keyframes on shape layer 2 and move them forward by 5 frames by holding Alt on Windows or Option on Mac and pressing the right arrow 5 times. Of course, you can do this manually, should you wish, by scaling into your timeline by using the zoom bar here and moving the 2 keyframes 5 frames forward. Then do the same on shape layer 3, but move the keyframes forward by 10 frames and move the keyframes forward on shape layer 4 by 15 frames. A handy shortcut to move 10 frames at once is press Shift, Alt and the right arrow once on Windows, or on a Mac press Shift, Option and the right arrow. Repeat this offsetting for the end keyframes, moving them backwards instead. So, on shape layer 2, move the last 2 keyframes back 5 frames. A shortcut for this is pressing Alt on Windows or Option on Mac and the left arrow 5 times to move backwards. So, repeat this for all the layers, moving the last 2 keyframes on layer 3 back 10 frames and on layer 4 back 15 frames. A shortcut to move back 10 frames at a time is Shift, Alt, back arrow on Windows and Shift, Option, back arrow on Mac. Excellent, that's the animation complete. We'll just add some color to our shape layers, write our text and create a mask for our text. Then we'll be finished. So let's add color. I'll include the color codes I'm using in the video description if you'd like to use the same. Select each shape layer individually, go to Fill and choose a color. If you're using color codes, copy and paste them directly here. If you can't see Fill, even though you have a shape layer selected, ensure you have the selection tool selected, then the Fill option will appear. I'll speed this up now and colour all the other layers. Once you've added your colours, select the Type tool and type your desired text. I'm just going to write Circle Transition. By the way, I'm using the Capucine basic font set to regular at size 149. This font is available in the Adobe Font Store. Now use the Align tool to center your text. Great, now we'll create a mask for our text. To do this, duplicate Shape Layer 4 by pressing Ctrl-D on Windows or Command-D on Mac. Right-click and rename it Mask. Then set the track matte on the text layer to mask. If you can't see the track matte options, click Toggle Switches and Modes at the bottom of your timeline to display it. If Toggle Switches and Modes isn't available either, expand the Layer Switches pane in the bottom left. And that's it. In the next tutorial, I'll show you how to export this as a MoGart file with editable text and colours. Subscribe to not miss it. Thanks for watching.